Shoot him again.
What fool?
His soul's still dancing.
Hello, and welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host, Smokey, and joining with me, as always, is my co-host, Booge.
Hey.
And we're getting a little loosey goosey, getting back to basics. It's just us doing this review. And before we get into it, I'm going to give the 3 rules of the rating system like always. First rule is it must be a fraction of 5. 1 means we hate it. 5 means we love it. Rule number 2, if we want our money back, we get a good old Jeff Goldblum. And rule number 3, if we all agree that's doing the review that it deserves a 6 out of 5, a God tier, then it'll get a God tier. And oh, do I want to give this one a God tier, because we are reviewing Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Hell yeah.
With Nicolas
Classic.
Cage. Oh man, it's
Directed by Werner Herzog.
oh yes, one of my favorites of his. One of my favorites. I didn't realize that it was him, but then you pointed out that one shot. I was like, holy fuck, it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh man, so I believe we can do what we normally do. I have a quick little plot synopsis right here. If you want to do what we normally do here.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
Go for
it opens up in, of course, New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina is going on, and we have a Terrence McDonald, played by a Nicolas Cage, and a Stevie Pruitt, played by a Val Kilmer. They're going around an abandoned, little abandoned. It's not abandoned. It's getting flooded. It's a precinct,
Yeah.
and they're doing one of their buddies a favor and getting his nudie pics out of his locker, which I never understood that. Why do you have those at your work?
And did they say it was of his wife? So why did he even really care?
They're of his wife. I guess
if he just kept them in there, no one would have known. But now they're getting back to him.
Yeah, no, he chose the wrong people to go get him.
Oh yeah.
But there's also some papers in the locker, and they're like, oh shit, there's another prisoner. There's another fucking prisoner here. Let's go save him. And Val Kim is like, no, fuck the dude, but not Nicolas Cage's character.
And they fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah, they do fuck with him a little bit. They do. They like, oh, maybe we shouldn't save him. But Nicolas Cage,
they start making bets about like, oh, what do you think? What do you think about 3 hours till he's drowning?
Yes. But Nicolas Cage decides to go ahead and dive into the water, and he rescues.
Fuck up his $50 pair of underwear.
$500 pair. $500.
Oh, $500.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's fucking expensive as underwear.
I thought it was 50, and I thought that was expensive.
He ends up saving the dude, but there is some complications in saving the dude. He gets a back injury, gets on Vicodin. Oh, and he also gets, for extreme valor in the line of duty, he gets promoted to lieutenant. And it spirals down into a concave of fucking craziness.
Which it definitely was already heading down that way, because he's already like got access to coke and shit. Like he's already on the downward spiral.
Oh yeah, for sure. His partner is definitely the one leading him. Val Kilmer's character. He's already gone. Like it is evidently clear he actually wasn't playing when they were making bets.
Oh no.
he was there to get those pictures, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
But,
like he even said we'll get the fire department to deal with him, but I don't think he was gonna call the fire department.
Nah, for sure. He was just gonna let him go.
But yeah.
And some craziness ensues. We find out that he has a Nicolas Cage's character has a prostitute girlfriend, Frankie Donenfield, played by Ava Mendez.
Oh yeah. Which I've
We
seen
also,
it. I don't know what else I've seen her in because she looks really familiar.
I
don't really know her by
she,
name though.
if I'm not mistaken, she was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Well,
She was in.
I haven't
She's
seen
been
that.
in several things. She has been in,
Mm-hmm.
but I do believe that is one of the things she was in.
Oh.
I can't remember off the top of my head though. Yes, then she gets into some trouble a few times, and that gets him fucked up a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember.
Oh yeah, the first time. The first time he successfully steals the coke of that guy.
Yeah, fucking. They start investigating a homicide that is done by
yes.
Exhibit's character, Big Fate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yes.
when we meet Midget and G. They get pursued by Nicolas Cage's character and apprehended. And fucking... They proceed to get fucked with Nick Cage.
And who's the kid?
The kid is the random... He was just some
He's
random...
a bad boy.
Yeah, he's just some random grocery deliverer that
but he was the main witness.
Yeah, he's the main witness, and he was running away, and he ran to his grandma, who works at a nursing home, and some poor old white lady, some poor old innocent white lady gets caught up in this shit.
Apparently a senator, I think, or someone who's related to a senator.
Yes.
Because it gets him in trouble later.
Oh. And, yeah, there's, then some more craziness happens. His, prostitute friend, Ava Mendez's character, gets, into some hot water with, I don't even know who they are. I think they're buddies with the guy that was going, whoa.
Yeah, it was, I think, they were like the mafioso people who were connected with that guy who I think has some like government pull as like a dad did.
Which, who was that? He was played by somebody. He's played by, who the fuck was he played by?
No clue.
Ah, shit. It's someone familiar. Who the fuck was it? Of course, his picture is not on his Wikipedia. Like everybody
Wikipedia
else's.
and different shit.
Fucking. But yeah, his character, that I wonder who told him to do his character like that.
I don't know, because this movie was definitely supposed to be a comedy, so I think that guy could have just did it by himself, and then Werner was like, "That was so weird, we're keeping it in."
Oh yes, I mean, it wasn't bad enough to where I didn't like that character. I wanted to see more of the character. So I guess he did his job. And I found it is a Shea Wigham. Shea Wigham, if anybody knows who the fuck that is. He looked familiar, but I do not recognize anything that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he was a detective in Fargo. Oh, and he fucking plays goddamn in the piece of shit Netflix Light, in the Netflix as Light's dad. That's where I recognized him from. He plays.
He's definitely better in this.
Oh yeah, he definitely was way better than this. Man,
that's none of the actors' fault. Even if like there's a lot of bad acting in that, that was a shit show.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh man, didn't we review that piece of shit? That might have been one of the lost episodes, actually. I feel like I would have made us review it. but
I can't remember.
it might have been lost, which that I'm so fucking mad about that. But hey, let's get back on Bad Lieutenant.
Yes.
So after she gets in trouble with the mafioso people, he takes them to his pop's house, and that kind of works out in the end for him, even though it gets her sober, which he doesn't seem to care for too tough. But he goes with
Oh
it.
yeah, it's a little shock. Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, he's because his dad obviously, because his dad, we know there's just like, from what we know about his dad, like he basically just like wakes up, waits for an AA meeting to happen, goes to the AA meeting, and then like comes back and then goes to sleep and is just like waiting for the next AA meeting to get by, because apparently we can see that there's definitely some drug use throughout the family, or at least
Oh yeah.
alcohol abuse.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the spoon that he found was not like his father's spoon or something.
Mm.
The infamous pirate spoon that's just a crack spoon. I love that little detail about it that they added on. It's literally just a crack spoon.
That's why I wanted to find it so bad, so he could just like, oh, I want to use that treasure spoon as a crack spoon.
Yeah. Then he gets into some debt with a bookie, and he has to get some money. So he decides to hatch up a scheme where he gets in bed with Exhibit's character Big Fate, who did the homicide earlier. And after some craziness ensues, the mafiosos just bust in, which I gotta say, the mafiosos didn't plan that out too tough. They went in there
Oh no,
with three guys and that's it.
I don't think they knew how what big players that Nick was playing with. But you know, they are more Italian and an older school, so they don't really know like black crime, you know, like the laws of that, and like those types of neighborhoods. Those are the neighborhoods they don't go in.
But yeah, they get dealt with pretty faced, and but the dude's soul was still dancing, so they had to shoot him
Oh,
again.
mm-hmm. I'm glad they listened.
You gotta listen. And Nick Cage's lucky crack pipe comes in handy, and that lucky crack pipe kind of gets him a happy
Oh yeah,
ending.
throughout this he's been like, I guess not exactly. I wouldn't say fully like a trust. I'd say he's been building a quote unquote trust, or at the very least, he's been building that he's a crazy motherfucker that's like willing to work with Exhibit anyway.
Yeah.
But because he is, he's just been playing himself, but also been playing Exhibit this whole time in the most subtle way throughout his his drug fueled insanity. It gets him to smoke his lucky crack pipe when they're all smoking crack together.
Hey, I mean, sometimes that's sometimes a rule of somebody. They'll force you to hit something, or it can get you killed.
You know, and I think that's
It's a
what's
narc
good is that
test.
he wasn't. Yeah, and he didn't like play around too much. He pretty much was like greedy with the money, so it showed like he wasn't like playing too much ball of like obviously like, oh, I'm just trying to be your friend. It was genius.
Yeah.
It was believable that it worked, and that Exhibit was as surprised as he was. And Exhibit throughout this whole film, I have to give it to him. He's been having fun. He's just been having a ball with this fucking film. I could tell.
Yeah, for sure.
With Nick Cage.
They definitely was just everybody was having fun with Nick Cage. Fucking
The only person you get to see him work in front of you.
The only person that seemed to not be enjoying himself was Val Kilmer, but I guess that was just like the role that he was supposed to be playing. Like, he was supposed to be playing the semi-straight man until the very end, where they pull the plot twist, which isn't really a plot twist, that he was crooked the whole time. It's like, you showed that he was crooked in the first scene. We don't.
I guess
we
the
don't
plot.
need this.
I think the plot twist was more that Nick didn't go with what Val Kilmer was going with. That was like the big surprise because that seemed like something he'd do.
I mean, he wouldn't have got the if they wouldn't have got the call. They would have got in trouble if they killed Big Fate.
Yeah, it's from how all the cops left the building. It seemed like the other cops were down with what Val Kilmer was about to plan out. That was his crew. So I
Yeah,
don't
like
know because they're saying like,
kinda
oh, he's
just
gonna go
dipped.
for the gun.
Yeah,
He's
they
gonna
kind
go
of.
for the gun. Yeah,
It
that's
was
why they
just.
dipped because they were all working together.
Oh yeah,
It was all
and fucking
yeah.
Nick Cage was like, no, 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 not
Nope.
happening.
Yeah. So I think it would have worked out, and they probably wouldn't have gotten as big of a like it wouldn't have been as big of a bust because then they would have just kept what they got in the bust. But yeah,
fucking Nick
they would
Cage
have
wouldn't
still
have got
got away with it.
promoted to
Yeah.
fucking captain.
And
Yeah.
are we near the end then?
Yeah, we're getting near the end. He gets promoted to captain. A year later passes. His wife is sober and apparently pregnant. Ava Mendez's character, and his parents are all happy, and apparently he's sober. But we're not done yet.
Mm-mm.
He is in a hotel room, and he is preparing a line. When
Oh yeah, and this is from what he just stole from a similar way he did from the movie. He obviously had a little relapse and was staking out his big thing of when he was like low on drugs is what he'd do is he'd stake out like bars and then see people coming out all fucked up and then pull them over and steal their drugs.
Yeah. I'm on the waiter scene. The dude comes into his hotel room and it's the same dude that he saved and he's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes, Nick Cage looks at the dude and he goes, do fish have dreams? And the final scene is just them two sitting at the aquarium, and Nick Cage's character gives a little chuckle. And that's how it ends.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, such a. I feel people missed out on this. I feel people missed out on this one. I feel bad that we did this as a Loosey Goosey, to be honest.
We'd always come back to it.
Oh yeah, that's what the Loosey Gooseys are for. It is
especially this movie. I feel like this is one that we'd easily just be like, if someone is like, "Oh, you want to watch this?" That we're not gonna be like, "Oh, we already did that." We're just gonna be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Oh yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's give it the full review because it definitely deserves it. Man, it's just that everything's.
Though I do have
perfect.
some. Yeah, everything's perfect about it. I do have some small production thing about this. Just with we do have to mention that about the movie that was before this that is not related to this at all, other than by name and by the fact that it's a crooked cop.
Yeah, that is the only relations. This is not a sequel. This is not a remake of the original. Herzog wanted to make that evidently clear, and he did in the movie. Like it's clear in the movie.
Which
that
which the screenwriter of this actually screenwrited this specifically for Herzog. So it was done by William Finkelstein. Submitted the original draft of the screenplay to Herzog.
Yeah, very smart.
He assured Herzog too that like, oh, though, yeah, there was a movie called Bad Lieutenant. This has nothing to do with it. It's not a sequel or a remake. And Herzog's like, okay. And Herzog genuinely, he wasn't being mean. He genuinely had never seen Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, he's never seen a dude. I believe the dude's name is Abba Ferrara. Ferreira.
Oh, sorry, Ferreira.
Yeah. Ferreira. He did the original Bad Lieutenant. He's Herzog just never seen any of his movies. He's just like, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. Like, what's going? Like, why are we beefing? Well,
but
I will say Ferrero went too far because he said that he wished everybody that was a part of the quote-unquote remake would get in the same streetcar and fucking get blown up. It's like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, you know directors, how artists can be. They're very dramatic.
True, but at least watch the movie first.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I feel like.
Because you can't get mad just because they share the same title. Because I mean, you can't copyright a title. We can make a Bad Lieutenant movie if we fucking want to.
Yeah, but as long as we like, I think also like the fact that they put the long thing after it is what like makes it okay.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
even if they did have the rights to Bad Lieutenant, you could still just be like oh, the very bad lieutenant.
Yeah, you just extremely bad lieutenant. Bad lieutenant gone badder. Anything.
But yeah, that's the main thing with the production is just that that no one making this was trying to even make the original or have anything to that. Though I still feel like Finkelstein watched the first Bad Lieutenant and then just like was on coke and then made like his funny version of it.
I mean that I'm glad he did because according to everybody else, the first one is pretty brutal, and if I can say I like this one better, I'm glad. We have to give this. This actually was a box office bomb. Its budget was $25 million. It only made $10.6 million in the box office.
Damn. I wonder when it came out.
It came out 2009.
Or what month?
November. So I don't know why it did.
So it should have did a little. Yeah, it should have still did a little better.
Yeah,
actually, what's weird too is it also depends kind of on like
I know
week in November.
People might have been pissed about this, but there's no Val Kilmer. They only promote Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. I guarantee if they slapped Val Kilmer on this, a little more people would have went because Val Kilmer needed to be a cell. Like he needed that for just himself at this time period. Give Val Kilmer the win.
Yeah. Though it would have been, I guess, a little dishonest because he's not like a big factor in this film other than like the first and then the last, or one of the last scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he makes appearances here and there, but yeah, people could have been a little. That's why I can't say anything negative or positive really even about his like performance or character because we got such little of it. It was not really much to make an impression. He served his purpose.
Yeah, he served his purpose like for the plot. Yeah. Which that's always good if it's not negative or positive. Sometimes, and the fact that he's not a big part of it is an okay thing. That's only a problem if that's like your main character.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been a problem.
No, that was the opposite of the problem here with that. Because as ridiculous as he is and how kind of like cartoony he can be, like he still reads off like a cokehead.
Nicolas Cage,
like,
yes,
he's natural.
He's like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Nicolas Cage was just might have did a few bumps here and there
especially with this 2007. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel
2000 with it being so early, it's hard to say. Well, not so early, but so late in the century.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like if it was 90s, I'd be like, hell yeah, definitely.
It's just, I want to say when when he starts doing the voice is when he's actually doing cocaine. Because what's making him do that voice all of a sudden? Like it's.
I don't know if just
I feel
that
that's
like
a
natural
personal
buildup.
tick. I don't know if that was a natural buildup or if it's a personal tick that he had on cocaine.
Maybe, yeah. It's just of like other of his like cocaine things of earlier work. He kind of does have like a weird voice thing when he in Deadfall too. It's different, but there's definitely a weird voice and there's like slurring. I don't know if he's just like, oh, I'm gonna make my voice a little bit weirder and weirder as it goes because it shows like how slowly this character is just breaking mentally. That's what I kind of got from it. I can totally see that as like a Herzog even direction too. Just knowing Herzog.
I agree. I also just can see. I wouldn't be surprised if someone was like, no, that he just starts doing fucking voices when he's on cocaine.
I would love director's commentary or Herzog commentary, like watching along with this film. That would be perfect. I
Fucking,
want to know like what's going on in his mind when he was doing this.
Herzog and Nicolas Cage. I want both of them to be on that. Just fucking giving every little detail. That would be so good. So, we've done. I mean, this is Loosey Goosey. They're not gonna be too long. So, yeah. You want to go ahead and give our ratings?
Yeah.
I'm a solid 5 out of 5, if not a god tier.
God tier.
Do you want to do a god tier?
We're locking in a god tier.
Then a god am. Was that over the top? I can never tell.
Hell
And
yeah!
what's funny is that Starfish kind of did, but he was too busy to be on this. This probably wouldn't have been a god tier if we did it.
It probably wouldn't have been.
We snuck it in. It wouldn't have been, I don't think.
Yeah, boy.
Knowing how he rates things, even if how much he enjoys this, I don't think he would rate this a 5.
It's Bird After Reading all over fucking again. I'm so glad. This is how I'm gonna have to get my god tiers now. Just like slyly do a Loosey Goosey with nobody noticing.
But until you get sabotaged when they're like, "Oh, are you doing one?" and you're like, "Yeah." Get on. Yeah. Fine, get on. Go fuck this up.
You're gonna fuck me up. You're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna take something. Oh man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Fucking love this movie. Can definitely watch it again. Go ahead and give the outro.
Yeah. But I'll just say this is definitely a god tier, at least on the Loosey Goosey pantheon.
Yes, on the Loosey Gooseys aren't full episodes. These are filler episodes. Oh, ain't that some shit?
So might be different pantheons.
Yeah, I mean it could complete a whole. To be honest, I feel we should at least do this one as a whole review, but who knows, it might become a true god. But right now it's what can we call these, because you like to call the ones that weren't going to be god tiers but became god tiers Talos. What should we call these? False prophets?
Pagan gods.
Yes, they're the pagans.
The pagan pantheon.
If you've been listening to us return to a bit of the classic style of reviews, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and share the video around. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Do you have a sign-off?
What's with these fucking iguanas?
You took mine. Now I gotta do the shoot him again. His soul's still dancing.
You boy.
And this will be a bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
There ain't no iguana.
Yeah, there are.
There ain't no iguana.
What the fuck is that? Fucking iguana.